Go ahead, Mike, I think everyone's on the edge of their seat waiting to know whether you're going to call games from the sideline or in the box after all the preseason discussion we had.
Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. Right now, right now, I mean, obviously I did the 3 games down on the field, and whether I was up in the box or on the field, I was just trying to kind of figure out what I was going to be most comfortable with. Obviously, never went upstairs, but feel really good down on the sideline, being able to just kind of be face to face with the quarterbacks and basically the whole offense. So unless I guess Salah wants me to go back upstairs, I'll probably be downstairs.
What was your anticipation for this? The first real game, so to speak, in this role. I mean, you guys, obviously Robert's in the same way. You're across the board. You guys are all,
First time, yeah.
So, what is your particular anticipation for this?
Nothing for, I guess, myself or even for Salah. Just, I think both of us would say we're just excited to see these players go out and finally play. It's just a long, but necessary off season in terms of just the first year and just the amount of stuff that you put on these players and what we're asking, in terms of our standard and, learning the X's and O's of it. So just finally to go out there in a real Sunday game day environment, see the starters go for 60 straight minutes against a very tough opponent. Just, I guess that's what I'm looking forward to the most, just the anticipation of watching our guys compete at the highest level that they can against a very good football team.
How is Zach handling everything? All the hype around him and everything else. How does he handle all that?
You no different than he did when he first got here in May. I mean, he is just it's just all ball all the time with him, like I've always said. He prepares for a practice, I would say, in terms of before even preseason started. No different than he's preparing now. He's ultra prepared. So I think he's excited to obviously get out there and go compete. That's what these guys love to do the most. But he really enjoys the process of it, and for me, I haven't seen a change in him at all, and so excited to see what he can do on Sunday.
What do you think the biggest adjustment, jump, whatever, to a regular season game is going to be for him? Is it emotional? What will it be?
Yeah, just the highs and lows. I think one of the things we always talk with the quarterbacks, but really all the rookies in general, and sometimes even the second-year players, it's just how important each play is. We kind of joke in college football, like you throw a pick, don't worry, your defense is going to give up a touchdown in 3 plays. You're going to be right back out there and try to win 60-55. And in the NFL, you just feel like every play is just so important, and so for him to they're gonna get some, we're gonna get some. You just got to stay the course, play each play like it's the most important, because it is, and then you get back to the sideline and you figure things out and go through your adjustments.
He hasn't really had any adversity yet, really, so to speak. I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he's touched the ground yet in terms of getting hit. No turnovers, right? And is that a good thing, or would you have rather seen him go through something that maybe he had to kind of scuffle through or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit of unknown, but I think just dating back to the process of drafting him, just the kind of mentality and attitude that kid has had. I mean, he has faced adversity, although not in the NFL yet, but he did it at BYU at times, particularly his second year. Then the first year when he ended up starting, there was adversity all over the place, and he handled it very, very well. So wouldn't expect anything less from him. Obviously, we don't know yet. He hasn't been hit in a game per se. He has unfortunately been hit a few times in practice, but he's gotten back up, so it's actually a really good thing. But just again excited to see when it's live and he's out there, what he's able to do.
Mike, if you didn't know his age in this league, how would you know he's a rookie? Is there anything off the field that he makes a reference to that you almost shake your head and say, this kid really is still so young?
Yeah, like some of the music and movies that we bring up that he has no idea, and we're bringing up Caddyshack, and he just kind of looks at you like, what is Caddyshack? So you see some of the youthful innocence in him in the meeting rooms, and we all kind of get a chuckle out of it. But in terms of just his preparation and how he goes about his day, it's not rookie-like, but at the same time, it's how you should act as a quarterback, and he's got a lot lot of great resources, guys that have played in the league, be it Steve Young, being the BYU connection, and just all the different guys he's reached out to. So I think he wants as much information as possible. It's what we've always said since April, but also just not even information about scheme, about process of just getting through a week, how to study. He asks so many questions that are just awesome questions, and it's been fun to watch him go through this week and last week as well.
I wasn't with you guys in Green Bay, but I have to believe for a youngster like that, Aaron Rodgers taking any kind of interest might have made an impression. Were you kind of aware that it might have?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was watching Aaron a lot. He's been watching him for a lot of years, like many, obviously, young quarterbacks and older quarterbacks. I mean, Aaron's one of the best to ever do it, So for him to actually go there, see it live, see an operation where you've seen a team go to an NFC championship for 2 consecutive years, play at a very high level, practice at a very high level, prepare at a very high level, like that's what championship football looks like. So for him and all our guys to see, what that team's done over 2 years and see how they operate in August and how it translates to September through December, January, February, hopefully. It was big for him, but I think it was big for everybody.
Mike, the last time we talked to you in Green Bay, we had spoken a little bit about the protection and kind of some of the struggles that they were enduring during those camp workouts. Did you see an improvement recently, and how would you assess kind of that front?
Totally, yeah. And again, it's to be expected. You're in year one. You're working these protection and OTAs, but there's no pads on. So you're not really you're kind of moving at the same way, but you're not blocking people the same way you do when you have pads on. So it's a work in progress for 5 guys to be in such sync with each other, be able to pass off the games, to understand how the guard's set and compare to the tackle. You teach it, but those guys got to go make it come to life when they're out there, And so it's gonna be a process. There's going to be things on Sunday that we know that they're going to be learning from up front, and it's going to take all year, and it's going to go into next year, But I have seen improvements from them. The cool part is it's a really cool group. They work well together. They work hard. John Benton and Jake Moreland do an awesome job with them. So, I'm excited to see what they're going to do on Sunday.
Mike, do you have a thought for sorry about that now. Not Mike,
I know you're not sorry.
You're running back wise. Do you have a plan in mind already in terms of how you want to use these guys, or is that something that's going to evolve as the game goes on? Because obviously the system you come from, you bring a lot of guys in and out.
Certainly, yeah. We always have a plan with it, but what's cool about our backs, in my opinion, is they're a very, very talented, good group of backs. So whoever's in there, we have so much confidence in that they're going to get the job done in their own way. But we'll always go into it with a plan. The plan can change based on the hot hand. I kind of joke with receivers and any ball carriers. It's no different when Steph Curry hits a 3. He's not coming out after he hits the 3. He's going to keep on getting the ball. And it's the same thing with anyone that's touching the ball. If they're getting it and they're producing, they're going to stay out there unless they need one. And usually, they got the energy to want to stay out there after that. So it's no different with the ball carriers.
This is a quick follow-up. Do you care if if one of your guys has the hot hand, so to speak, say Tevin, whoever it is, and ends up with 1,300 yards, because that's not usually a formula. The formula usually is you get a bunch of guys with 700 or 800 yards or whatever the number is. Do you mind if one guy emerges like that?
Would love it, But I think just naturally with the position, 16 games going on 17 games in the preseason, and just kind of the wear and tear, and how we do rotate and how we do try to spread the ball around to receivers, tight ends, backs. I think that's more why the guys. I want to say maybe the last time we've had a 1,000-yard rusher was probably Devontae Freeman that I've been a part of in 2016. But again, it's not just the backs. It's so many people in this offense tend to touch the ball, and we want to keep it balanced like that. It doesn't always happen like that, but if someone breaks off for 12 or 1,300 yards, it's probably pretty good for the Jets.
I was going to ask you about the running backs and say, we didn't see Tevin as much. And Ty looked really good when we saw him. You alluded to that. It's going to be by committee at this point.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's we'll have the plan going forward, and you guys you'll see the plan on Sunday, obviously, in terms of who's going to be out there first and who's going to be in there with the third down backs and stuff like that. But it's one thing I learned from Bobby Turner, who I think is one of the best ever coach, let alone running backs, the running back coach in San Francisco. It's you got the hot hand, you keep him out there, and he did such an awesome job of training myself as a young coach, but Teo Taylor, and just you coach them really hard Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday's their day, and they got to go out and play, and they got to play as hard as they can. And whoever's got the hot hand that's rolling. I thought Bobby did a great job of feeling that, and I think Taylor will have the same feel as well, and the players feel it too.
Mike, I don't know if you actually can answer this, but in the preseason, obviously that was the first time we've seen your offense because it's your first year as an offensive coordinator. Although there's been variations in San Francisco and obviously what your brother's doing in Green Bay. How vanilla was that? What you displayed in the preseason compared to what we're going to see in the regular season? Because you didn't want to tip your hand.
It was everything, or it was really vanilla. It was we were just running our offense, if that makes sense. Obviously in the preseason, the defense isn't showing a lot, so the offense doesn't have to show a lot either. You're just you're trying to get an assessment of players. Yes, you want to win, and because it's a competitive thing. It's just like when Matt and I were playing knockout in his gym back in Green Bay. I was trying to beat him, and he was trying to beat me. Like, you're trying to win at everything you do. So you're doing that in the preseason, but you're also getting an evaluation, most importantly, of the guys. So you don't want to make it too complicated or anything, because you want the guys to play absolutely as fast as possible. So we'll see whatever kind of unfolds on Sunday will probably be a little different the next week and a little different the next week, and we'll kind of figure out what this Jets offense is going to end up looking like as we kind of move forward with this offense.
Mike, with Corey Davis, how important is he to how this offense runs?
Who's Corey?
And what impact do you see him having on not just Zach, but the entire offense in running it?
He like I've stated a few times, he's just a professional, and he's a man. He's tough. He's at such a good point in his life, personally off the field, just with his family and all that, and then it carries over to the building. He's the same person every single day. So whatever success he has on Sunday, he earns it, and he's talented, so it's going to happen. But it's because of the work he puts in, and what I love about him is he doesn't say a ton to everybody, but people notice him because he does things the right way, and it's the reason that he's here, and it's the reason that he got the contract that he did, and he earned it.
Mike, with Mackay in Green Bay, you said he's working through some things. Has he worked through those things? Did the concussion slow things down for you? Just kind of, where's Mackay entering?
Yeah, the concussion was, it's unfortunate because you just want every player out there right now, particularly in year one, just to go through all the different little things that you go through when you're just learning a new system. But he's gotten better every single day. Like I said then, it was kind of like I was just saying with the O-line in general. It's a work in progress for everybody, myself included. And, the more he's been out there, the better he's been. He's been very good in the preseason games. And, you expect good things. The thing that I said about Mackay back then that I truly, truly mean, he's a good dude, and he's gonna continue to get better and better in this league, and he's ultra talented, and then just taking it to that next step is just gonna be crucial for this whole offense and this team.
Mike, is there any worry at all with that offensive line in that you guys had been rotating right tackles? Mackay missed some time with the concussion. Obviously, Elijah missed a chunk of time with the pectoral injury. That this is a group that obviously you want to play as one, but this is kind of the first week or so that they've all really been practicing together.
Yeah, there's definitely concern with that. Just because of what you're saying, it's just kind of been mix and match, and you want your five to continue to gel. The thing that's been wild is, even though it hasn't been those same five, you can see them, whoever's in at guard and whoever's in at tackle, they're getting used to each other, whoever that person is. So you can feel that out at practice. Obviously, we haven't been out, on the field versus another team in over, almost whatever it was, 2 weeks whenever we played Philly. But you can see it every single day that we've been out in the practice field, that they're getting used to each other, whoever that person is, the 7 to 8 guys that have kind of been mixing and matching in there. So, I'm feeling good about the direction they're going. I know they are. And they got a really, really tough opponent on Sunday, and a very, very talented D-line, so they got their work cut out for them. But thankfully, I think our D-line's pretty good too, and so I feel like they've given us everything we could handle for the last month, and hopefully we're ready for that challenge on Sunday.